I'm not supposed to be doing this. Everyone I know is looking at what they will do for retirement. Friends are passing away. And instead of making investments and keeping a tight portfolio, watching a 401k grow and considering what my future will look like, I'm throwing it all to the wind and starting a business. Starting over is ugly work. I can't sink into hobbies, learn about whiskeys, smoke cigars, hang out with friends. I'm a beginner again. I'm taking advice from people that could be my kids. It's embarrassing and uncomfortable. Worse than I thought. But I have one advantage earned from all of my years. I can work through pain and failure better than someone that is not used to it. I don't have the energy of someone half my age does. But I've been through so much more, and I'm unwilling to quit when things get hard, because I can't. There just isn't time. The hardest things to bear are the sweetest to remember. That's a quote by Seneca, and it's one of my favorite quotes. It's one that I come back to all the time when I'm needing to remind myself, why am I doing this? And I think for me, the most important thing when you don't know what you're doing and when you're terrified, especially if you're older, you can do this. I remember it's very hard to put up with pain and suffering because you're like, I don't have to suffer. I don't want to suffer. I want the quick fix. I have plenty of time. Let's go party. Let's get this done. And let's not worry that much. But when you get older, you've suffered. All of those mistakes that you made when you're younger, they're there waiting for you every day to remind you, you're a fuck up. It's true. You're kind of messed up. Like, you're not the person you thought that you were. You're this invincible superhero when you're younger. And then when you get older, you just see the mountain. My God, the shit that I have fucked up. Nothing ever quite worked out the way I wanted it to. But everything was a gateway and a bridge to the next thing. And if it didn't work out, you still grew from it and became stronger and better. The thing that I always hold dearest to my heart is to remember it doesn't matter how you feel. This is the only way I've been able to make it through tough training, tough shows that scared me when I was on tour. Anything that was difficult that I wasn't sure I could do, I always told myself, it just doesn't matter how you feel. How you feel is separate from what has to be done. So you're tired, you don't really feel like it, you're scared. You feel like you just can't do it. You don't feel confident. The world is pressing up against me. I don't have the time for this. I can't handle this. It's too much. I can't do it. Doesn't matter what you think, because it still has to get done. It's still on the table. It still must be done. These things have to get accomplished. Whether or not you want to do it, you wake up in the morning and you have this amount of stuff to do. I heard some quote how Steve Jobs was able to stay locked in all day, and he had a certain amount of must-do things that had to get done that day. And that is because he was emotionless about it. It doesn't matter how anyone around me feels about this. These items will get done today. And that's the way you have to look at everything. And it's so much easier as you get older to handle that, because you can disassociate yourself from, I don't want to do it, I'm kind of tired. Listen, when I talk to my kids, I try to explain to them, like this morning, it's Memorial Day, and I was telling my son, who talked back to me, and I made him stop doing what he was doing, and I said, I want you to look around and look how good you have it. All right? You don't get to talk back. You don't get to think that way. It's not appropriate for you to think that way. Today is the day that we give gratitude towards the people that lost their lives so that you could have your TV, your video games, your safe streets, and this culture that we all get to experience. And everybody's trying to get in here, and we need to be grateful for it. Telling that to a little kid it's not possible for them to really understand, because they have no years. They don't really know what it means. And the older you get, the more you understand what it means to be grateful and to disassociate yourself from suffering and pain so that you can get what needs to get done. Because what is a little suffering? Just a day. I heard Cam Hanes was talking about an ultra run, and it was fascinating. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Because he said, when you get older, I've suffered. I can suffer it's just a day. That's true, because it's one of many days. When you've started stacking days, and 80% of them have been like, oh my goodness. 20% have been absolute magic. It's wonderful. And no matter what, this life is an almost impossible miracle. It's basically an impossible miracle. If you start thinking about the planets and all that stuff out there, it's impossible. And to disassociate yourself from the suffering and to be like, I can handle this amount of suffering, becomes something that you can do when you're older. That's my only edge. Because no matter how I feel when I wake up, when things have gone bad, I still have to get this stuff done. There's no question that all of these things that are on the table are going to have to get done. As someone who's 51 years old, I've seen my fair share of difficult days. My friends are passing away, and it's not going well for a lot of people, and people are struggling, they're suffering, and all of us are struggling. Doesn't matter how we have things in our lives. You see some of these people on social media, kids do this, young people do this the most, and they assume this person's got everything. You don't want their problems. You can handle exactly the amount that you have. And if you can handle more, you will be rewarded with more. Trust me, it's coming. If you can take more on, it's coming. You prove to the world that you can take on more, here it comes. The floodgates are open. You will be tested every day. It's good to train and be ready. Like David Goggins' quote, what are you training for? Nothing. But when shit pops off, I'll be ready. That's true. And as you've stacked up the years and gone down the line a little bit further, you can do this much better than you could before. And that is my only advantage as being an entrepreneur at my age, learning the ropes, learning how these things go, and having no idea what I'm doing every single day. I think about all of the goofy things I've done. I don't have a good relationship with social media like this. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, but I have a system now. I'm working on a video Monday and Friday. I'm going to put it out. Some are scripted, some are not. I've began starting it with scripted content and then going into free flow talking, because when I get on a subject and I want to talk about it and I'm excited about it, I think that it's more interesting, more fun. I get better clips out of it, and I think that's just a way going forward I'm going to do. I love quotes. I love digging into something new, something I'm a beginner at, something that just drives me crazy. I sit there at night laying in bed with a problem, like, I can't wait until I can wake up because I want to solve this problem. It's eating at me. It's making me completely crazy. We have upgraded our Amazon to such an incredible degree. We put so much energy into that because they own the internet. They are punitive, but they own the internet. And having a strong presence on Amazon has been the quickest and easiest way forward. People are really responding to the brand in a way that I can't even begin to describe how grateful I am. Most people start businesses and then they're like, it didn't work, man. But it's working. It's working. And I have to just stand back, but everything's failing and everything's just like too hard. It's like this mountain is, god damn, the clouds are parting. You can't even see the peak yet. It's so high. But when you look back and you see how far you've come, take a moment. A year ago, I had zero idea. We weren't even on market yet. And the social media we were doing was totally off base. It didn't make sense. And now we are so focused. We have the brand story. We have the look. We have everything down, and the products speak for themselves. Now we're contenders, and it feels amazing. And it's because there's no quitting. There's zero quitting. It's not possible to quit at this point. And that's the advantage, is that as we get older, we've suffered. If you're older and you're like, oh, I still want to accomplish these things, but I just don't know if I can physically do it. You can. More than people your age. You know what's really fucking weird, man? So I was doing Ironman, and the category of 45 to 49, the championship timing is less. The people's timing, pretty fantastic, but then the age that's higher, 50 to 55, they're faster than the people younger than them. You're like, whoa, why are they faster than the younger people? How's that possible? Because they're more angry about getting older. Think about that. They're more pissed off about having gotten older, so they have way more energy, but they're like, oh, no, I am not ready to die. I'm not going out like that. No. So they try harder. They put more into it. They have more effort, and probably at their age, a little more free time. A lot of those people started businesses in their 20s, and now they can afford the $15,000 bike, but I digress. I think as you get older, in many ways, you get stronger up here. You're fortified. This is the advantage. And this is the advantage I'm using going forward. And that's what's fascinating about the business. There's the design aspect. As a musician, I have a lot of music that I can use for the advertising. I can throw in everything that I had into it. And coming from a design background, we're not skimping on anything, from the product to the design to the presentation. And now we've finally found our lane. And now's the fun part. The struggle is over. Now when we wake up, we know exactly what we're doing. And it's super cool and a lot of fun. That's it for the day. You get stronger as you get older, and happy Memorial Day.